The Phoenix City Council is seeing some new changes with the arrivals of Laura Pastor and Kate Gallego. What's 420 feet high, has a lazy river, a concert venue. City officials are asking people just how do they get in and around downtown Phoenix. There's another way to dispose of your pills. First, that help combat oral problems for the Navajo Nation. Parking meters that used to only take cash now take debit. Well, they do it with Snicker bars. Why not a burrito?
Yeah, why not?
We're getting new insight tonight on the war on drugs at the Arizona border. So, we've seen kids and babies get exercise, but what about those in the later stages of life? That's it for Cronkite News Watch. They survived their mother's attempt to poison them on Christmas Day. The 3 children from Casa Grande are now recovering, and today, the kids' father talked about the attack for the first time. Investigators say Connie Villa admitted to giving her 3-, 5-, and 8-year-old children prescription drugs to poison them. She also told them she tried to give her 13-year-old daughter the same drugs, but when she resisted, Villa suffocated her with her bare hands. Police say she also tried to kill her ex-husband by stabbing him. Adam Villa talked about that and his surviving children today.
Asia?
Park officials were ready, but the tourists were in fact not. Many of them didn't get the word that the national parks were closed until they drove up and were met at the gates. What would be the sound of new adventures beginning,
I drove about an hour over to get to here,
is instead the sound of rejection.
so it's kind of disappointing.
Montezuma Castle Superintendent Dorothy Firecloud has a busy morning ahead of her.
We have until noon to get the park completely shut down, and the employees noticed.
Montezuma Castle isn't the only place getting red tape today. It's one of 22 national parks around Arizona that are closed with no definite reopen date.
So sad.
It's not only the visitors to the monument who are affected, but businesses too. Yavapai Apache Nation Vice Chairman Robert Jackson knows the closure will hurt local business.
Over 400,000 cars pass through our reservation on their way to Montezuma Castle. And they eat in our restaurants, they stay in our lodge, they buy our gas, and we depend a lot on that.
Until Congress can make a decision on the budget, Labansit's money will go elsewhere.
There's a few other stops that I planned on making, and I would imagine they're closed as well.
And everyone hopes not for long. Earlier today, Republicans said they wanted to reopen portions of the government, including the parks, but Democrats say they'll reject that bid because all of the government should be reopened, not just the parts that the Republicans like. Asia Hood, Cronkite News. A lot of us know how to drive a car, but controlling a big rig, that's another matter. New industry regulations are requiring more experienced drivers, but the number of openings and the stability of the trucking industry make getting behind an 18-wheeler a lot more attractive. From your morning breakfast to the shoes on your feet, almost all the things you enjoy are delivered by truck by people like Miriam Tapia.
I wanted the experience of driving a real commercial truck in a 5-speed, so I decided to come to school.
And her driving skills, along with those of other students, are in high demand.
It's pretty much doubled as far as the big, huge corporations or national carriers that are coming to us to hire our students directly.
According to the U.S. Department of Transportation, we'll need 300,000 drivers to get behind the wheel of a truck for the next 10 years to meet our transportation and delivery needs. But it won't be easy. A change in regulations has made getting behind the wheel more difficult.
You have to go through a pretty rigorous federal background check to ensure that you are who you say you are, so on and so forth. It's a security thing. And, you know, that's a huge change that has happened, especially after 9/11.
But that, along with computerized tracking to monitor driving times and routes, hasn't discouraged the use of trucks or the number of people wanting to drive, especially women and retired professionals.
My son was like, "So Mom, you're gonna be a truck driver now?" And I was like, "Yeah, maybe." And he's like, "Are you gonna become fat like them?" I started laughing.
People like Miriam are changing the face of who you see driving big rigs. What's even more interesting is that school officials tell us that truck driving is one of the few industries where women have the potential to earn more than their male counterparts because there's so few of them and they're in high demand. Live in downtown Phoenix, I'm Asia Hood, Cronkite News.